What's up? What's up? What's
What's
up?
that?
You have just tuned in to the iDads podcast and YouTube page. I am your host, Matt, with my co host, Eric Alvarez. Eric, what's going on, man?
Nothing much, man. Just busy week this whole week. Had a
We
lot of things going on. How about
we
you? How's your week?
we back at it.
Oh yeah.
That's for sure. Took a little bit of coordinating to get this set up. Um, it's been a crazy couple weeks around my household. COVID restrictions are starting to slowly dissipate, and life's starting to kind of ramp back up to normal. The kids are going back to school, so we had the experience of first day back to school for this year.
Yeah,
Um, Sports are starting up, so I'm stoked for that.
for
And
sure.
life's kind of starting to get back to normal. Unfortunately, this last week, my aunt passed away.
No, I'm
My
sorry to
dad's
hear that.
aunt. So we had a nice service for her. But I wanted to share something with you on that, on my aunt passing away. So my aunt was, she was one of those women, like, she was dope. She would walk in a room, she would light up a room, and not only with her personality, but she was always fitted. She was always looking good, you
Yeah.
know. Kind of like your wife. Them nails were done. The hair was did. Um, but we had our funeral, and I wanted to share this picture with you. Is a It's a flower arrangement that
Wow.
that the nail salon that my aunt went to sent to her funeral service. And this thing was
Wow.
huge. The picture doesn't do it justice, but shout
Wow.
out Jasmine Diva Nails. That is a dope flower arrangement.
That is awesome. We're great, great. Thing to do. That's just really nice. Wow, man. You put it back up. Let me take a look at it.
You want to take a look at that
Yeah.
again? I'll share it with you again, bro. Your wife's gonna be
Wow.
expecting something special soon.
That is nice.
I mean, that thing was huge. It was about like 3/4 of my body. Like, I mean, it was a really, really nice arrangement.
Yeah,
So,
no, I'm sorry to
but
hear about your aunt.
well, I appreciate that, man. It's
Um,
it's tough, dude. That's part of being a dad. It's part of life. Is we're experiencing
yeah,
these new challenges, and for us, it's those that have done it before us. That have kind of shared knowledge, or um, you know encouraged us along the way, that are passing on, and it's our job to carry on the torch. That's the way I look at it, man. I look at it as a responsibility, to carry on the torch.
I agree 100%. I mean, this past week, just talking to you again, I could hear it in your voice, man. And I'm glad I'm here to support you, and I'm praying for you and your family, and I'm here for you.
I appreciate that, and that's what it's all about, man. We're experiencing everything. Um, we are just two dads. This is iDads podcast. We are just two Bay Area dads,
Yeah.
just chatting about everything life, being dads, the struggles, um, and the victories, man. Uh, uh, Before we get to what's been going on with you, Eric, I don't know if you've ever had one of those days, but like, I felt like super dad today.
Really.
Like, bro, I was deflecting problems, like bam, and
The
just bing, bing,
problem
bing, bing,
solver.
just handling business. Like, I came home from work, I got here, play date was going on. Cool, no problem. Dad's gonna work in the yard. I'm gonna keep a very close eye on these little kids, make sure nobody gets hurt. Um, I'm keeping an eye on them. I'm doing things around the yard. I come in the house. We had Eric. I know every dad out there. I know every mom out there. I know every parent out there can relate. We had the mountain, the infinite mountain of laundry going on around this house. I got half that pile done of laundry. Um, I did the dishes. Dog, I bro,
Woo,
I'm on a whole nother level, man. I put both the kids to bed tonight by
on
myself
fire.
because my wife was in a meeting, put the kids to bed, boom, done. And you know what? And boom, here we are, 9:30 almost on a Tuesday night doing the iDads podcast. Like, because listen, I have to celebrate it because it doesn't happen very often as a dad. Like a lot of days I am defeated, man. I am beat up. And I don't know, maybe it's something in the water or something in the air because my wife was on point today too. Got the oil changed in the car, went for a run today, which I I don't even know about that, but like my wife be doing big things like we are superheroes over here. So something's in the air, something's in the water.
You know what it is? It's the beautiful California weather. I
It
mean, we're
must
having
be.
just beautiful weather, and then the time change. I mean, you got more daylight, more stuff to get done.
77 degrees today. For our many New Jersey followers, I'm sorry to rub in the beautiful weather here in California. But yeah, 77 degrees, man. It was beautiful today. Um, Not quite as beautiful as that flashing iDads podcast sign you got
You
going
like that,
on.
huh?
I love it, dog. Way to represent.
Yeah, it was my daughter's, and I seen her playing with it. I'm like, you know what? Do you have all the letters for iDad's podcast? Let me borrow that real quick. So she said, yeah, she was fine with it, and she actually did it for me. She's the one that put a little dog and a few things on there, so she did it for me.
I love it, man. Here's the thing. We may again, I'm not big into the numbers. Small, big, don't matter to me. The 39 subscribers we have, I'm
It
cool.
went up. It went up though.
I'm cool with. Yeah, it has gone up, but I'm good with like the 39 we have because the feedback I've been getting from some of my friends, some of our friends, mutual
Yeah.
friends, from my own some of my family members, my wife, my kids, your
Right.
daughter's getting involved in making the sign. My daughter said today she didn't like the name of the iDads podcast. She just she wanted it like dad chat or dad talk or dad rambling. Um, so, but
Okay.
that's dope, man. I mean, like, listen, if there's 39 people that love it, that's great. If you're listening, hit that subscribe button. Let us know that you're there, that you're listening, and keep coming back for more because we're gonna keep doing this.
Keep doing
Uh,
it.
iDads, we're rolling, man. So what's been
Yeah.
going on with you, Eric? What's going on in your life?
I mean, just yeah, I mean, right now with with the COVID restrictions kind of loosening up a little bit, we had started visiting family. So a lot of my uncles and family are actually already been vaccinated. So I was invited for a birthday party on my uncle's birthday party on Saturday, and then on Sunday I went out to another family member, another event too as well. So it's been pretty busy. I mean, we've kind of gone out this weekend, just kind of explored out a little bit more with close family. But it was interesting. I mean, a lot of I mean, with the uncles and stuff like that. I mean, there's always something interesting with them, especially with when it involves alcohol and just partying. So it was a good time.
Here's the crazy thing for me. You're talking about your crazy uncles. Like, I'm that crazy uncle, bro, and I don't even drink. I'm just that crazy
You know,
uncle. And we've been hanging out with family because, like you said, everybody's getting vaccinated.
yeah.
If you don't know, check your social media. Everybody's posting their vaccinations, but
Yes.
everybody's getting vaccinated.
Yeah.
So we are starting to hang out, and I've been with a lot of family. And listen, I've been taking the opportunity because we have been so secluded from one another and from our families. And I've been trying to make a really conscious effort to make a point to express to my family members how much they mean to me. And I did it with some family members that you have those family members you don't see very often,
Yeah.
maybe once a year, at big
Yeah.
events or whatever. And we were sitting around and I took that opportunity to express, how I felt and how much I loved them as family members. and they gave me that. I felt like I was kind of getting that look, like, oh, there's the crazy uncle, crazy uncle. So I could sympathize, although I don't need to be inebriated to be the crazy uncle. It just comes natural to me.
That I mean, I think I get called the crazy uncle. Obviously, with some nephews out here, I listen to them. I listen to their stories, the stuff they go through. They're teenagers. They're doing getting into things that you kind of think back, man, I used to do that, or you know what, I used to do something worse, and sometimes being the uncle, you can actually hear a different side instead of that hearing it directly from your son or daughter. You're getting it from a different perspective. That's what I like. I like to be with the youngsters, with the family, kind of just there's a different connection with the young kids, especially teenagers. They teach you a lot. You can see their struggles and what they're going through. Um, that's kind of what I've been. They probably do call me the crazy uncle. I just don't know. You know. But I
Maybe,
always,
but
at the end of the day, I always tell them, look, I always guide them the right way. Something that if you know sometime in the near future, something they can probably give a good something to my daughter, a good what would you say, like a guidance, or kind of give them the send my daughter in the right direction. That's kind of what I would do. So that's why I invest in their making sure that they're going in the right direction and not going to the wrong path. So
absolutely. I mean, I've always, growing up, really, really clung to the thought of, respect your elders, and that, that your elders, they have a lot to offer and a lot to teach and to share. And so, man, I've always absorbed as much knowledge and information as I could from, like, the OGs. I call them the
yeah,
OGs because,
right.
they don't like to be called old people, or old farts, or old, fuddy
I
duddies.
haven't got to that
uh,
level yet.
it's and this day and age, it's really, really tough. You don't want to categorize somebody with a bad title because they'll cancel you right away.
Yeah.
So, uh, so, um, so I call them the OGs, and man, I've, my Aunt Dolores was an OG, um, I got tons of them in my family, tons of people I know, and the
Yeah.
crazy uncles, man, you absorb that knowledge, and they can pass that knowledge on to your kids or to our kids in a different way than we do to our own kids.
Yeah.
I mean, I lost my uncle this last year, and I'm telling you, man, if I needed anything or had advice or questions, I was calling my crazy uncle, and my uncle was crazy, man. He was
Yeah.
straight up crazy, but he was a good crazy,
But gives you the
and
straight answers, right?
great straight answers, kept it real, gave me the truth, told me what I needed to
Yeah.
hear. I love it. So if I embrace the crazy uncle moniker. I'll take it. Talking about family, I want to share another photo with you guys.
Okay.
Eric, I want to share another one with you. I found this on Facebook, Sounds a History
Oh, I thought
Facebook
he.
page.
Okay.
All right. Can you see the picture?
Yes.
All
It
right.
says Babe
So,
Ruth, huh?
yeah, so this is 1920, 1930s, San Jose. Actually, my uncle kind of clarified it. It was more 1928, 1930. So it was like right at the end of 1920s. And it's Babe Ruth came to the San Jose Bay Area in an off-season tour in the 20s or 30s, and the poster of this Facebook page was saying, I can identify two people. Tony Paradiso is on the immediate left, and third from left is Jules Bazzi. Does anyone else recognize? The reason I point this picture out is because, number one, how dope is that to see a picture of Babe Ruth in San Jose?
That
Okay.
is awesome.
But I want to point something else out that was brought to my attention that I thought was so cool. I'm gonna get a pen here. All right. If you look right here to the left of Babe Ruth, who this poster mentioned, Tony Paradiso. All
Tony
right.
Parody, huh?
That is my grandmother's brother, Tony Paradiso.
Hmm.
And right to the right of him, that other fine gentleman in that dope hat is my uncle Benny,
Your Uncle
uh,
Benny. Ooh.
who lived to be in his 90s, late 90s. Awesome man. And in my life was one of those OGs. Like, I would see, as a little kid, I would see that man in the trees, pruning trees for just whoever, because he just loved to prune trees.
Yeah.
Um, but OG. And so we were talking about OGs, we're talking about throwbacks. This is a throwback, 1928 roughly. Babe Ruth, and then a bunch of Bay Area folk, farm
Wow.
workers, just hardworking people of the Bay Area out here. So I just thought I'd share that. I thought that was a really, really cool picture.
Little off-season tour. Yeah, maybe somebody, some of our listeners might identify themselves in there, or at least a relative in that picture.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
post it on our social media.
that's
You
that's
never
that's
know, but
awesome. That's awesome.
1920s. I mean, that's a long time ago, man.
And I can see you get all proud. I can see you even pop
I
your
love
chest
it,
out.
bro. I love it,
Like,
man. I love history. I love, you know what? I love the fish. I love the history of my family. I love to learn
yeah,
that. I think it's amazing. And I love the history of sports.
right.
I love history. So I get jazzed about. I'm a nerd. I'm a history nerd, I guess. Um, I,
What did you? So who sent you that picture?
it was posted on Facebook.
Oh, okay.
Uh, and I actually just came across it on Facebook, and I was like, "Oh, that's interesting." And then there was a group thread text message with my family, and they were like, "Hey, look at this picture," and I was like, "Whoa, that's awesome."
Oh, nice,
So,
nice.
yeah, Paradisos actually have deep history in San Jose. If you don't know, go ask somebody. But yeah, they actually have some deep roots in San Jose, so that it's pretty cool, man. I'm super proud to have any association with that. Maybe I'm a clout chaser. I'm chasing the clout of my ancestors from the 1920s.
We're gonna have to get you that kit for 23andMe, that company that does that.
Bro,
Sure.
I'm on that, son.
You actually did it?
I'm all over it, dude. I'm all
Really?
over it. My
Shit.
sister works there, so I'm all over it, man. I was on it early.
See, I'm afraid to find out my history. Find out that some white guy jumped the fence. I don't know. I got the colored eyes, light skin. My mom doesn't want to tell me. I don't know. So, do I really want to find out? I don't know.
Well, yeah. I mean, I do. I mean, I think it's
My
just
mom's gonna
cool.
hate me, dude. She's
I
gonna listen to this. She's gonna just. If
listen.
she was here, she would have threw the chancla at me.
Hit you with the chunkle. Yeah, mommy sniper. Uh, my mom is one of the 39 subscribers, and she does listen. She probably doesn't. I don't think she much cares for the show, but she loves her son dearly.
100%. You're so spoiled.
That- That's how we roll over here.
No, no, they put me to work over
Put you to
here.
work. Well, okay. So here's the thing. I had a situation. I got a call while I was at work this last weekend, and it was a call from my neighbor next door, which is, I mean, that's really weird. Like nobody. I mean, I don't. Do you have your neighbors' phone numbers? Do you call them frequently?
Not frequently, but I do have their phone number.
Okay, you have it, but like if they called, you'd be like, "Whoa, that's weird." You'd probably
Yeah,
go, "Who
something's
is
going
that?"
on.
You
Yeah.
know. Anyway, so I saw he called, and I go, "That's weird." Like, so now I'm starting to panic, right? And I answer the phone, and I go, "Hey, what's going on?" And he goes, "Hey, man, how you doing? Hey, do you think you could come out front and talk to me real quick?" And I'm like, "Well, I'm
Taking
like
that as a
now
challenge,
I'm
huh?
like really my like wheels are turning." And I'm like, "Well, man, man, I'm at work right now. Is everything okay? Is there anything I can do?" And he goes, "Yeah, man." He goes, I don't want to make a big deal about it, but I do want to kind of bring it to your attention. Like, your son was playing in the yard the other day, and he hit or threw one of his hard baseballs over the fence.
Yeah.
Um, And I'm not sure what happened once it got over the fence, but whatever. And I was like, hey man, I appreciate you letting me know. Like,
Yeah.
I appreciate that we have a relationship where you feel that you comfortable enough where you can call me and be like, hey, this is going on or whatnot, rather than going, oh, that's my stupid neighbors, I'm gonna keep his ball. And you know no, it was just like, hey man, I just want to let you know. And I think the ball almost hit someone, which is dangerous, right?
Yeah. It's a valid
and
concern. Hmm.
so I said, "Hey, what, I'm really, really sorry. I appreciate you, you calling me. I can assure you that I will address it with my son. And not like, I'm gonna go home and, grab a belt and find him. Like, no, I'm gonna have a conversation with him. And and so, that all happens. And I really appreciated him, reaching out and going, hey man, like, no judgment on you as a parent, no judgment on your kid is all at all. Because even when I was over there talking to him, because I went over there today to really formally apologize,
Yeah.
and his girlfriend was there, and she was like, your kids are adorable, they're wonderful. I mean, she's like praising my kids. And I'm like,
Yep.
okay, hey, I mean, they got you fooled, obviously, because my kids are monsters. No, um, so she felt bad. She didn't want the kids to get in trouble. But I just really, really like, I really appreciate that, because as I was growing up, I had a neighbor like that
Yeah.
that looked out for me, when I was, growing up and my parents were off at work and I would ride my bike home from school or whatever. She would always look out for me. And I've, growing up then, I didn't appreciate it at all, right? I didn't appreciate the fact that someone was like trying to look out for my well-being. And in fact, if you hung out with me back in the day in high school, like, all my friends, like, we would have to like commando style try to sneak back to my house when we were ditching school, so that, and everybody knew her name. All my homies knew her name. Like, oh, don't let Nancy see you. Don't let Nancy see you. She was my neighbor. And that was the thing. And in high school, I was like, man, I wish she wouldn't like tell my parents I ditched school or whatever.
Yeah.
But now, like, and as I've gotten older, I appreciate that woman so much, because she was looking out for me and my best interest and my well-being, and making sure, she was doing what she could to help me make the best decisions. um and she passed away, a while ago. but
You're such a good man. You're
but
such a good man. I
listen,
would have
she
handled
made a
that.
huge impact in my life,
I
man.
think I would have handled that neighbor of yours differently. One, you're calling me. Is it an emergency? What are you doing? It's a ball going over the fence. Stop making a big deal out of it. It's like put on your. I would have put on my socks. When you want to talk, you want to call me out and call me to my house, man. You wait till I get home. You don't come call me like, oh, it's like a big deal. I mean, you got some man. Don't make me go over there
Nah,
and
nah,
start
nah,
cracking
man.
balls over your
Listen, you
neighbor's
gotta
yard.
nip you, but see, that's the thing with these kids, like, with the
I'm just kidding,
discipline,
man.
like,
I don't want any problems with your neighbors if they get to see this.
hey man, hey, neighbor, my wonderful neighbor that I appreciate, that I respect, that I love. You see
Don't
Eric
listen.
coming to the hood. Hey, neighbor, you see Eric coming to our hood. You hit me up. You call me. I'll be there. I got your back. Oh,
I'm gonna wear the high socks. The
the high
Cortez
socks.
walking down your neighborhood, like
No, man, I just I appreciate that, because raising kids is hard, man. And my kids are, there's gonna be times where I'm not gonna be around, and I'm not gonna be able to observe or witness whatever behaviors it is that they're doing
yeah,
that are not appropriate. And I need to know about it.
yeah,
And I need, so that I can address it.
yeah. I mean, and back, our parents, our grandparents. I mean, they would just, our grandparents would actually control our parents just with the, just by looking at them, they would freeze. And then our parents, their discipline has actually evolved and has changed so much that they, our parents now introduce the, the whipping to the backside, and now we're as iDads trying to discipline our kids. We can't even tell them anything the wrong way, and they still don't listen. So the discipline has evolved. I mean, I don't know what's the disconnect. I don't know. But the discipline has changed. I mean, you can't even look at your kid the wrong way. And our grandparents, all they had to do was just give your dad or your mom that look, and they would freeze. They would not mess around. And and with us, it's like, at least in my situation, they would, if I didn't listen, I got the belt or the chancla, and that's how they discipline. Now I can't even tell my daughter, anything without trying to discipline her
Clean up your
in any
room.
way. Nope.
Clean
It's
up your
just
room.
nope.
Daddy, you hate me. Oh,
Exactly. They're
what do you
so
mean?
sensitive. They're so sensitive. This new generation is so sensitive, man. And that's kind of what I was talking to some of my nephews. I mean, telling them to stop being so soft. I mean, they can be a little soft and very sensitive, but at the same time, I've had this connection with my nephews and understanding that they have. I mean, I don't know if you might disagree with this or you might agree with this, but I think that teenagers, and this is all, so it's all the teenagers that listen to us. I understand. I know kind of what you guys are going through. I think this generation of youngsters have have it more. It's more difficult for them than when we had it. Um, I feel, talking to the nephews, they have so many options. Okay, they got their iPads, they got different avenues, they got so many options. Okay, you got so many options to go the bad way, to take the wrong route. They have so many options. There's so much competition for them. I mean, there's different drugs. I mean, when we were in high school, there was drugs. Yes, our parents, during their era, there was drugs. But when we were in high school, we knew who the guy that was smoking weed. He was usually in the back of the classroom,
You
with
could
his eyes
smell
all
them
shut,
coming.
and you could smell him coming. And yeah, you might want to branch off once in a while with him, but we knew there was a separation. Now it's just like you have all these options. I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, I can go down the list, and it scares me. It scares me now that I know that my daughter's growing up. She's only 9, but I'm scared. But at the same time, I gotta adapt. I can't be the old fashioned dad. And I asked all the iDads out there, man, you need to get involved with your kids. The old fashioned way is not working. We need to we need to listen. We need to look and turn around and connect with your kids, because I mean, there's so many options, so many routes for them to kind of go sideways. I mean, just name it. I mean, everything's evolving. I mean, the other thing is that with my daughter is like, I don't understand her really. I think because I'm over here. I need you to read a book. I need you to do this, but she's so tech savvy. She's so into art. She's able to do the the architect of a house in her computer. I don't understand that, and I want her to be reading instead of kind of pushing her to kind of develop what she's good at. And just because I don't understand that situation, I mean, if you think about it, a lot of the millionaires, billionaires, like Google, Facebook, they have that's where the money's at. I mean, you can have somebody, a good, our old fashioned dads, let's go buy some real estate. They go buy a house or they build a building. It's going to cost them some money out of their pocket. When we got this
Now you
17,
code it. Now
18 year
you can
old,
code an app and make trillions of
exactly,
dollars in stock.
exactly. And we,
Yeah.
and us as dads, we close ourselves that we don't understand, and we should be able to develop and adjust to the current market, because I mean, I think, and this is just stuff from my brain, and I'm sorry, I'm kind of going full blown on this, but it's just these thoughts that go through my head when I'm, trying to direct my family in a certain way. But there's so many options out there. There's so many things that are evolving quickly. Back in the days when they first started introducing the laptop, you know, it would take 2 or 4 or 5 or 6 years to see that the laptop developed into something else.
Bro,
Now
it's turned
you have an
into a
iPhone, and boom,
sh-
3 months down you have something That blows your mind.
Think about it, in our lifetime, man, like I mean, it just exploded, and it is
Yeah.
challenging. It is
Yeah.
challenging, raising the kids. And yeah, it's tough.
Yeah.
And there is, I saw a really, really great post,
Hmm.
and it was a young man, and it was just a picture of his face and a silhouette, and then just around the silhouette was just images of things, right? So like
Yeah.
TV, video games, you know drugs, alcohol, women, boy, whatever, whatever it is. Like, and it was such a great representation of what our kids are experiencing right now
Yeah.
as they try to figure life out, is they are being bombarded,
Yes. With
bombarded
information.
mentally. I mean, their brains are just, I mean, they're having to process so much information and stimulus, and
Yeah.
just and process it and process, and just in and out, and then it's just, I mean, it's a lot, and it's overwhelming. Like, you
Yeah.
talk about, like, just how drugs have evolved, like everything,
Yeah.
everything in life.
Everything.
I mean, it's just multiplied, and now they're all taking it in, they're all absorbing it,
Yeah.
and it is really, it's a challenge,
Yeah,
as
I mean, and,
parents.
and the information, I mean, all that information and everything evolving so quickly. I mean, like I said, the evolution of the laptop took a few years back in our generation. Now it's like 3 months, you have one iPhone, three months down the line, you have a different phone. I mean,
It
everything
could
is changing
take
so
you,
quickly.
I mean, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, it could take you an entire lifetime
Yeah.
to absorb as much garbage as we take in now in a week, a
Yes.
day. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like, think about it. Like, if you wanted to figure something out, you had to go get some big old book and read a bunch of it. You know what I
Yep.
mean? To figure out and be knowledgeable in that area.
Yeah.
Now you can go and Google, read a cliff note about it, be
Yeah.
somewhat knowledgeable in that area, and then read 15 other things on 15 other topics.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just coming at us so incredibly fast.
Yes.
And it's our job to protect our children. My dad used to always say, and it drove me insane. He's like, be careful the things that you consume, whether
Yeah.
you consume it with your eyes, whether you're consuming it with your ears, whether you're eating it, like drinking it, whatever it is, just be careful, because you're absorbing that stuff into your life without really
Yeah.
even knowing it, And I was like, ah, come on, man. Like, let me just,
Right.
come on, old man. Let me just have fun and live it up. I want to listen to gangster rap or something.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or, you know,
Yeah,
and
I remember when the Chronic album came out for Dr. Dre. I mean, I had teachers like, "Is there a cleaner version?" I mean, it was like the whole like, "Oh wow, they're bashing police and all this stuff." It's like now you look at some of this rap that's out there. Well, it's garbage, but
not even the
well,
right that's out there. Like, I had to buy those CDs and hide them from my parents
right?
so they wouldn't see them. And now the kids are hearing stuff on TV that's, whatever. Like,
Yeah,
it's just out there. It's part of a commercial, or
yeah,
whatever. So it's crazy. I told my kids the other day, I said, working on um, consequences, them understanding that there's consequences for their actions. And I had a really, really long conversation. This is one of my hero dad moments. Doesn't happen very often, but when they happen, they're golden, bro. Um, and I just said to him, I said, listen, you guys may not always like the rules that mommy and daddy have for our
yeah,
house, and you guys may not like it, but you have to obey those rules, because if you don't, there's going to be consequences, like you're going to be grounded to your room, or
yeah,
I'm going to take away your iPad, or whatever it is. There's going to be consequences. And I said, but as you get older, you think that it's bad now, and like, I want to get away, like I want to go live
yeah,
rule free away from my parents. Like, you think it's bad now, wait till you become an adult, young
yeah,
man, young lady, because you think mommy and daddy's rules stink. The world's rules are super complicated, and there's a jillion more rules than mom and dad could ever make.
yeah,
And on to top it off, mom and dad don't have control of the consequences when you break those rules. And those consequences are a lot scarier than being stuck in your room for 30 minutes with no TV. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, there's levels to this. You guys need to learn.
Right.
You're in juvie, you're in baby jail.
Detention
Like,
starts with detention, then
yeah,
it goes from
like there's
juvie and
levels to this, and you
yeah,
need to learn the lesson. And that's why I think my neighbor for calling me, like, yo, hey, I just want to let you know this happened, blah, blah. Cool. Because I'm gonna talk to my son. We're gonna have a conversation because this isn't going to happen again. You know,
yeah,
I don't want you to come to me 2, 3, 4 times going, hey, man, like, no,
yeah.
I want this to be
Gotta
the
stop.
last time.
Yeah. Yeah,
There's
no,
levels to
definitely.
this, man. Like, and
Right?
I'm trying to teach my son, especially, but my daughter too. Like, listen, like, real life is real, man.
Yeah.
Uh, people always said, "Oh, enjoy being a kid, enjoy being a kid," and um, I'm scaring my kids. Yo, enjoy being a kid because being an adult sucks. It's hard, bro. You know, like,
Wait till you got to get up at 5 in the morning.
yeah, like I just wanted to get a job. I want to make money.
Yeah.
I wanted to do that when I was 15, 16. And people are like, dude, chill out. You'll have plenty of time to work. And now I would have been like, man, I wish I would have listened.
Just
You
stayed,
know,
stayed in the playground.
but hey, I want to make that
Yeah, no,
money, that cheddar.
definitely the discipline is challenging. I mean, like I said, for any dads out there that have young adults, I mean, just be just be aware that they have a lot of more challenges in being teenagers, a lot of avenues for them to go the wrong way. So you'll need to be there as a dad. You need them to keep them busy, get them into sports, talk to them, be their friend as well too, and also be the guidance, the person that they need, that they can come to as well. I know.
Exactly, because if you are like that, like super heavy-handed, like your kids aren't going to want to come to you when they
Yeah,
really have a problem and they need you to bail them out because they're afraid you're going to come down with the hammer.
yeah,
Listen, I don't have all the answers as a dad.
yeah. We
I
don't.
don't have
No,
all the advice. I don't have all, and Eric, I feel, you could say the same thing for yourself. But what
100%.
what I do know is, like, I've been given a lot of great advice over the years that I've never really put into application, but I know intellectually. And those are things that I've been working on as a person, and I've been trying to grow and
Yeah,
do better as a dad and be a better dad. and and it's like doing the things that we're talking about. But the one advice I can give is, when disciplining our children, like, I promised myself I would never discipline them out of when I'm angry,
yeah,
out of anger, right? Like, I just because I need to check myself first. Like,
yeah,
am I angry for good reasons, or am I angry because I got 15 other things going on as an adult that these kids don't understand, and I'm just angry, right?
yeah,
So I've that's just something I've always done. And for me it's been helpful. My my wife would, she'd probably say, like, hey, man, you're just being a little too easy on them, don't be the nice guy all the time, or
yeah.
whatever. So
No,
uh
you touch a really good point. I mean, just this weekend over, we went to one of family members, an uncle of mine, to his ranch, and we saddled up the horse and everything, and I asked my 9-year-old,
Vaqueros over there,
right?
vaqueros.
Yeah.
Look at my
Exactly.
vaqueros.
So I tried to get my daughter onto the
Yee.
horse. I mean, she was freaking out. She was literally shaking. So dad comes in like, man, come on, let's go. Get on there. What's wrong with you? And then my brother was standing right next, said, hey, be patient with her. I said, oh, okay. I will. I thank you. I thank my brother. Said, you just, she's afraid. Let's try a different approach. So, sometimes when we try to discipline our child or our children, like I said, don't do it when you're upset. And and the funny part is that my brother told me to relax, just try a different way. So we finally ended up getting her onto the horse, and she was okay. Um, so later on, my brother's son goes on the horse, and my brother's out there. You need to do this. You need to. And I go up to him. Hey, relax.
Relax,
Dude,
bro.
try a different approach. And then sometimes when we discipline our own kids, we could say it. It's like we're here like as dads, saying, we should do this, we should do that. But when it comes down to our kids, I mean, we're pretty hard sometimes because we want to, make them strong and don't be fearless and stuff like that. So it's kind of hard to discipline your own child. You know the right answers, but when you're upset or something's not going the way you want it, it kind of changes a little. And my brother's like, yeah, well, because it's not your daughter. Yeah, it's doing this little show here. But when your son did it, and it's like, so
Exactly.
it's
And
just,
that's like what I was talking about. Like when
yeah.
you go to a grocery store and you see those little kids just acting a fool in the store, you know, I'm never judging the kids. Like, man, those are some
Yeah.
bad kids. Like those kids need like jail or something. I'm always like, yo, what's that mom gonna do? Like, I want to see what mama's gonna do. Like, and
It's you're
and
like
and
staring
that's
like,
just that's just like, you know, like human instinct, I guess, that you want to see that car wreck or you want to see those reactions. But you know what? I always remind myself every time I see that situation in the
want to
store and
see
I
a
see
kid
that
get
those
hit with a
kids,
chancla, bro. I can't believe you would want
listen,
to see a
you see
kid.
those kids going bananas. I always, 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 I go, that that poor parent, that poor mom, that poor dad, like who knows what kind of day they're having,
Yeah.
because the kids always act up at the worst times,
Yep.
and it's like she's, that mom or that dad is probably having the worst day ever. And so while you do watch and see how others parent. Don't judge though.
Yeah. Don't
Do
judge.
not judge.
No.
Just watch for entertainment purposes or education purposes. Just observe, but don't judge because you never know what parents got going on, man. It is tough being a parent. We said it's tough being a kid. It's tough being a parent,
That's true.
you know. And I brought this hat out. Say my wife bought me this hat, and this is what I say, man. Like when
Nope.
I'm just not messing around with the kids. Nope,
Not
not today.
today.
Don't mess with me. I ain't that one.
Now you want me to go search, people disciplining their children at the store. You just want to see some kids getting hit with a chancla. Trust me, it's a lot different when you're seeing your cousin getting hit by your aunt than you getting hit with the chancla.
You know, it's a different world. It is a different world.
Yeah.
Because uh yeah, like it's different. And I think kids know that. They're like, oh, we in public. We in public. They
Yeah.
can't, you know, they're not
So
gonna
hope
yell us in public.
so hopefully the dads looking at the podcast, listening and listening. I mean, they can go back to their families and talk and discuss some of the stuff that we brought up and see if they see some changes in how all the information gathering that their children are going through and how as parents we can kind of team up and make sure we tackle this and make sure that our kids are going in the right direction.
That's right. And you tuned into the iDads podcast. And before we sign off this evening, a few episodes we talked about uh the wonderful pleasure I had of meeting Eric's dog Bella. And I've been begging Eric, like, give me a picture, give me a selfie with you and Bella, like just chilling.
No,
And he's been fighting it off, but we finally squeezed one out. So I'm gonna share a picture of the beautiful, beautiful Bella the dog.
Bella.
Can you see it? There she is. She's a beauty, dog. You, like I said, you should be proud.
She's made she honestly she's made a good recovery. I mean, her back is. I mean, she's pretty much running through the grass. I mean, like I said, when I first got her, I mean, she couldn't even walk. So,
Yo, this is how she's living
um,
now after like getting that hip replacement. She's got glasses on to hide that cataracts. She's got a
you
bling
saw
in
that
her
crazy
ears.
marble eye. Look at
Yo, that dude, that eye is like, that's like a parent's eye. That one eye is always watching you,
it.
dude. There's
Dude,
Bella.
you're bad, dude. Leave my
There's
dog alone, man.
man. I'm just saying.
She's up and running now, so I'm so happy for her. She's just running around the house now, and so happy, man. Just my kids love her.
And that's what it's all about.
So nothing on
Kids.
the GoFundMe for the cataract guy, right? Nothing.
Well,
You
you
didn't get
let
him.
me know, man. Whatever Bella's needs are, I am here for her.
Hey, I'll take a like. They don't have to. They don't have to drop any money. They just hit a like and subscribe for us.
There you go, folks. We don't need no money for Bella. That eyeball is just fine. But if you do want to support Bella or you want to support the iDads, subscribe to the iDads podcast. You could do it on YouTube. You can do it on Apple, whatever it is now, because it's not iTunes anymore. It's Apple Music or Spotify, wherever you get your podcasting needs and fix from. Look us up, the iDads podcast. Again, I'm your host, Matt, as always, with my co
Eric
host,
as
Eric.
well. Ibella and Ibella
Hi,
too.
Bella. Hi, Dads. You've been listening
You
to iDads
mascot.
podcast. We appreciate you. Until next time, we out.
Peace.